Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always repping. Oh my God, my whole life.
What's going on, boys? This is my first attempt to make a YouTube video. I'm showcasing VENEX RSPS. Uh, this is a custom server. We got 76 players online. It's pretty popular. It just came out on the 15th of this month, so 16 days ago, as of the 31st of May. We got a lot of players here. It's real easy to get drops on this server, and that's one of the things I like about it. You can see here, these are our bosses, and it's tier based. So to get to each boss, you're going to kill a set amount of bosses the tier before. I have already unlocked all of these bosses. It's not a real difficult grind. If you're sitting there playing all day, you can do it in a couple of days. Easy. You're bound to get drops as you're going through these, and you just kind of build your armor. You're also going to be making VENEX coin, which is a little bit different than your regular GP in most servers. This is it right here. So here's one VENEX coin. If you exchange it, each VENEX coin is actually 1 bill. So any shop that's on the game is going to use this type of money right here. Besides the player owns shops. So when you start the game, you're going to be set for life in terms of buying consumables or anything else you need to buy from a shop. So, you know, the super restores, that's gonna be the most expensive thing on this, or I guess the serum and brews. These are kind of pointless though. The main things you're gonna want is super restores and overloads. Because this is a custom server, so Soul Split does rule all. It's a boss that's an absolute must. You're not going to be able to withstand the damage of most of these bosses with your simple deflect melee. When you start the game, the main thing you're going to want to do, you're going to start here. You're going to have some basic gear. It's your starter gear. If you examine these guys, these drop starter gear as well, but it's a little bit better than the gear you're given to start with. These also drop a ring of wealth that helps DR. DR is an important factor in this game. As you can see here, you've got 286 DR right now. These are real easy to kill. And with your first starter gear, you know, it's going to take a second. It's not going to be that easy. But you see how I get 68 coins for the drop. It just showed up in my inventory because I have this Shuriken Arta. Also the collector's amulet. It does the same thing, it auto loots for you. So those are pretty big musts that you're gonna try and get as soon as possible. The collector's amulet is not too hard. It's gonna be over here in this boss shop. You're gonna have to kill 3,500 bosses to get this collector's amulet, or you can buy it from a player for about 3Q, which is 3 mil VENEX coins. Each one is a bill, so 10K is 10T, 1 mil is 1Q. So it's a little bit of a different coin system here. Very interesting. Here's our boss shop right here. 100 points. Like I said, that is completely not worth it. They drop from the very first mob. You might as well just farm that if you want to ring wealth that badly. Or you can go to our little AFK area, which is very nice. You can stay logged in at all times if you're one of those guys, chopping some wood or mining some ore and getting some gems out of that. But bad thing about that is when your inventory fills up with gems, you're going to stop mining. So that's not something you're going to want to do overnight. Here's our AFK merchant right here. As you can see, there's a Ring of Wealth 1. It's only 5,000. That's a couple of hours of chopping of wood. If you're going to stay overnight, that's easy money. So you got this upgrade item here. As you can see, these are the different items that can be upgraded, and you can see the Ring of Wealth here, or Rao. I recommend immediately trying to get 2 of these at least. 2 of these Ring of Wealths, the more the merrier. You're gonna wear one and upgrade the other. Well, items disintegrate on failure, so that's cool. You got a 25% chance of passing, and then it kind of goes up each tier with the Ring of Wealth. It's not the case with the scrolls; they actually go down for each tier. So one of your main goals is getting that lucky Ring of Wealth. I have a Ring of Devotion here. It's a little bit better. You get that from the Slayer shop. After you get your Ring of Wealth, if you're a Slayer guy, you're going to want to farm Slayer, even Duo. So we have Duo Slayer here, and it works really good. Here's our rewards. Slayer XP. And there's our reward shop. The only things that are really worth getting, I think, are the unique caskets, the donor boxes, the pet boxes, and this Ring of Devotion right here. And it is 1,000 points, and that does take a second, but you won't even notice it if you're boss slayering, which I might add, you do not have to have accounts if you're boss slayering. You can bypass account. But it only goes to Lucifer's pet. These are the only ones that get called for Slayer tasks right here. So if you do get a Slayer task for Lucifer's pet and you have no kill count, you can still get Death Protector gear, which is going to help you gain a kill count much faster than if you're wearing Zeus or a lower tier gear. I'd like to add that usually I'm pretty fucking funny. Right now, I'm not. I'm being serious. This is serious Shelby doing his thing. So here's our little shops right here. Most of them aren't going to do much for you. This guy right here, he gives you packages that you can farm from I9 warriors. 100% of the items in this stuff is junk. Here's our vote guy. Here's some vote packages. This is all junk too, to be honest. Your better bet is to claim keys and go to the vote box that is north of home. I'll show you that in a second. Got a makeover mage, and here's our donor shop. We're still early in the game, so there hasn't been a second shop added yet. It says temporarily disabled. But for right now, if you want to buy a donator scroll, and that's just a cash scroll, these are the items that you can get from that. Executive Donor Box is one of the best items in the store. You can pull executive gear from that, and it is pretty OP. Alright, here's our vote chest. So most of the time you're going to get coins for voting, and I don't know exactly how many. It's a decent amount though. It's worth voting. I think there's like a 20 loot table here, and they're all the same rarity, but more drops on the table are coins. But you could pull a donator box, a super donator box, unique caskets, unique keys, and starter keys. The starter chest is right here, and it just has gear. The best gear I believe you can pull from it is... I believe the best gear you can pull from it is probably this assassin here. So with that being said, here's the monsters that you're going to farm. You're going to want to start with Shrek, and then you're going to want to skip some of these if you're really just trying to get the bosses as fast as possible. Start with Shrek, get you a few of these pieces, hop to your choice of either the Pikachu, which is right here, or this toxic minion. And you're going to want to get either this armor or this armor. This is range right here. After that, you're going to want to go to these Rick and Morty's right here, and you're going to want to farm as much of this as you can. Another note is these also drop the coveted donor scroll, so you can actually get donor for free on the server without paying. It's a 1 in 1,000 drop. It's pretty nice. And even if you really wanted to, you could keep farming them, get these scrolls, try to upgrade them, and you could get all the way to Extreme Donator for free. But let me mention that that is a little bit of a grind. Here's my cute little boxing kangaroo. I just pulled that out of a box today. Super rare. I got super lucky. I'm happy about it. Alright, so this is the red rose gear. This is pretty OP. But I'm going to show you what this does to the Chaos Elemental here in a second. Before I do that, let me show you about this incinerator over here and show you why I am farming this Chaos Elemental. Here's our incinerator. It incinerates pretty much any type of gear. These are actually not incinerating at the moment, but let's find something we can incinerate. You can incinerate pets as well. We'll go ahead and incinerate these 2 common pets for you. Just to show you an example. Common pets are 2 points each. So they're not a lot, but they're also very common. I just got 4 dust there. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in with the rest of my dust. Here's the dust guy. The sawmill operator. I guess it makes sense. It is dust. Alright, so everything in here is just like, it's amazing. The pet boxes, that's the worst item in here. And that's not a bad item. And you got extreme and sponsored donators here. I wouldn't recommend actually buying those with dust. That's not a great decision. You could even farm $5 scrolls here if you want. I really wouldn't recommend doing that either. You got your dream pet right here for 1,500 points. That's a good pool. And you also have an infinite overload. So if you were to buy this for 2,500 points, you will not have to have these anymore. Not to mention, it puts you at 146 instead of 125. But it does go back. It acts like an overload on top of an overload. So after 6 minutes, it's going to go down to 125. And if you click this again, you'll go right back up to 146. You'll stay at 125 until you log out, I believe. Here's the boss man gear. As of right now, this is Biz gear. Right here. This is the strongest stuff in the game. Each piece is 1,000 points, so it's not too bad. I could buy one right now if I wanted to. But we're going for DR rather than damage. So here's our Cloud Strife gloves, Cloud Strife cape. I've actually already bought them both, but these two both have 50 DR versus 35 from Boss Man. You do lose a slight bit of damage, but I think for 15 DR each, 100 damage per hit is worth it. Here's our Cloud Strife sword. This thing is super bad. It makes everything go down in just a couple smacks. This right here is our Buster Sword, and it just absolutely wrecks. This guy right here, Board, he's super rich. And he's actually wielding this sword right now. This dude, he's a grinder. He's a beast. He's trying to buy my gloves. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so with all that being said, Tequila Red Rose right here. Currently speaking, this is the strongest boss available to players. There is a stronger boss available only to executives like Board here. That's the Executive Dragon. But for most players, this will do. As you can see on the 1-point table, that's 1 in 1,000. But with 100 DR, you're going to be knocking that down to about 1 in 400. 100 DR. If you get here and you don't have that, we're going to have a talk. So 2,900 per kill. You got your red rose. I'm going to attack him without this soul split here. You got 400,000 HP. He just smacked a 50 on me. A 26. Goodbye. Let's put this just... let's bring my health back up real quick. Let's see what happens when we do it like this. Let's see how much this helps. This is actually helping a lot. I didn't anticipate this at all. So that's a 12 right there. Regardless though, soul split, that's your go-to. You're not gonna stay away from 99 health with soul split. Let's go to Chaos Elemental. This is what I'll be farming. This guy right here. Total enigma. Just randomly shows up. I don't know who he is. He's the owner. So I'm not even potted right now, and you can see the hits I'm hitting. I can hit 8,000 without a pot. It does take a split second for these to load, so when there's nobody else here, it's best to kind of just do this right here. Chaos Ellie hardly ever hits, so that's really great, and their max is a 40, so you can double stack these all day with no fear of dying in 100 years. As you can see. Whew. Or else I'll get tomorrow. He really will too, that's the bad thing. Alright, so we're gonna pot up here. Good old overload style. I'm gonna see what we can hit with this overload. That's so true though, like he's gotten to the point where he's so rich that he doesn't even have to grind anymore. I mean, he just buys everything, and that's why he's rocking a big old Buster Sword. He wants it to speed up, and that is absolutely not correct. I can tell you right now, it's not. Come test it. I don't need to. I've seen it in action quite a few times. It's not close. I'm gonna 2-tick these things with that sword. Versus like, what is this, like 5 ticks? That was probably 5 ticks. You're gonna hit a 13k with that sword. And it's the same speed. I'm at Virago. We'll go check it out. So he's at Virago. That's a global boss. That's good time to show you all that. Here's the globals right here. You have your different tabs in the game. Cosmetic Zone. You can get your rares through that. I think it's a 1 in 500 drop. Let's go. He's probably already killed the thing. He wants me to use it. Oops. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, look at this. That's just insane. That's insane. And it's the same speed. It's better for show. Show, bro. That's not a lie. I think it's actually bugged. I've never even gotten coins from that boss, and he's supposed to drop boss or coins. All in due time. So, yeah, there's a lot of room to grow here. It's very at the base right now. Again, you got a lot of players. The items need bust. It's taking a little too long. That's like a minute fix. Let's read all the bug reports. Update today, bruh. Alright. Tell him to nerf Morty and Rick. Very. Let's see, look, 120. I've never had that much cash at one time. The most I've had is 100. And I was feeling high and mighty with that 100. I think I've heard rumors that he's had 500 Q cash tag, which is no one else is even close to that. I can already tell you that. But here we go. We're killing Chaos Ellie. Let's see if we can get a drop here and a few kills. Ha ha ha! You died. Rip. Alright guys, so I hope y'all enjoyed watching that video. Like and subscribe. Turn notification on if you care. More VENEX videos coming real soon. Next one I'll be doing is a loot from 1000 Chaos Ellie kills. Holla at your boy. Shelby, the RNG King, out.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.